We shall analyze it right after the introduction. Bitcoin's massive supply gap is opening the door for significant movement. Wait till Solana's numbers appear. Yes, the Solana chain, which everyone wrote off and which we have been accumulating since Quone. What do you know? They just started trading futures today, reaching the major CME. What does this mean for Sol's future, considering that the new upgrades have the potential to drastically change the situation for XRP holders? Because we will be delving into Ethereum, which is up 1.4% over the same time period, and Bitcoin, which is up 6.1% over the last 24 hours. The values of USDT and USDC are both approaching their reasonable levels. To ensure you don't miss anything, make sure you press the like button and turn on notifications. People, I guess, reputable 99-cent pegs like XRP are keeping the line down. At the moment, it is in the green zero. 67% of the $2.706 trillion total market capitalization of cryptocurrencies. You go now. The values of XRP to USDT are fluctuating within the channel structure. A crucial support level that we must maintain is $1.92. There will be a downturn that you don't want to see if we don't. Ironically, the trend line is just around that $2.50 range, and the price needs to break and close above it after we've bounced off of it multiple times. Cryptover informed the world's largest futures exchange, CME Group, about this epidemic. But guess what? A Solana futures contract will be unveiled today. Yes, exactly. What does this mean? Access to institutions, to put it simply, Solana's validity and liquidity will rise as a result. Therefore, you should reconsider if you are concerned that it might vanish like other futures on the CME futures platform. Without actually owning the asset, it will allow traders, hedge funds, large investors, and big money to obtain exposure to Solana. The other two Solanas will most likely be cash settled because Bitcoin is a theorem. This implies that just the price difference is exchanged as settlement volatility rather than actual money. Hedge traders can influence the market and make Solana a more desirable asset by shielding themselves from price swings. Increased trading in derivatives may lead to ever-increasing price discovery, which, depending on futures demand, may potentially affect Solana's market movement. Futures are what you want to see, and that's where the real money lies. This will help us move forward. We talked about Solana $800,000 this round. Without a doubt, this will be a major motivator. This comes from CoinDesk. It asserts that there is a significant discrepancy in Bitcoin supply between 70,000 and 80,000. At least 20% of the Bitcoin supply is now losing money, according to data from Blastnode. There was a 70-80K supply gap as a result of the November spike in Bitcoin prices. If the price falls below 80K, there may be a sharp decline with strong support focused around 70,000. As we have stated, I was in my zone between 65 and 75 on this lunar car. Show the identical item. You see, we are in this triangle. We burst into tears. He will make his next visit between 72 and 74. We have to go. He received a score higher than 92. I received a score above 95. To view it on the chart, I'll pull it up for you. Let's do some support and resistance at the top of this. He is now right when he suggests that we keep an eye out for or attempt to break over 94K. If it breaks out, you don't want to witness the drop on this monster. Let's put it that way. We then start to get bullish. According to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, digital assets are here to stay. Our goal is for the US to become the worldwide hub for digital assets. Listen carefully, because we just heard from David Sachs. The Treasury will have a big influence on how cryptocurrencies evolve in America, even if that is just one facet of the bigger economic problem. When there are so many other considerations, how does it all fit together? Fortunately, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is keeping an eye on things and will be joining us soon. He comes to me now. Many thanks, Secretary Bessent. Look, I believe that a lot of people are becoming interested in cryptocurrencies. From your point of view as Treasury Secretary, it appears to be something that is here to stay. What role does it play in the US economy as a whole? And what is the government's position on regulations? All right, I appreciate being on the show. Furthermore, this government has, in my opinion, made it very evident that digital assets are here to stay and that the US will become the global center for digital assets. The administration has slowed the expansion of digital assets in the crypto community for the last 4 years, but we are determined to speed things up through constructive collaboration and wise legislation in both the Senate and the House. Are both working to pass very safe and sound legislation to bring cryptocurrency and digital assets to the US and to ensure that the US leads both financially and technologically. These are the kinds of statements that we need to hear in order for the US to move forward. Everyone is extremely bullish, especially in light of everything Trump has been doing, passing, and their legislation. Jim Cramer says that the market is preparing to give up some gains. Let's do the same. We are drawn to this one. This is really bullish, therefore I like it when he says it. We want him to say this because we are aware of the consequences. Dr. Fenton, the reverse Cramer, received your XRP opposition and support. He is examining 230 and 222. We have resistance position between 339 and 585 if that is broken. I mean, my XRP chart shows resistance that ranges from $250 to $3. His numbers are those. We'll wait and see. We'll see how it turns out. However, in the end, it will all boil down to daddy. The SAC versus Ripple and Bitcoin hold on a while, Jeremy Hogan said, quoting Eleanor Terrence post cases, as the process of concluding them may soon come to an end. According to Hogan, the matter might only be resolved quickly if Ripple and the SAC come to a private settlement deal that differs from Judge Torres' decision to reject the appeal and never bring the contents of the settlement agreement back to the trial court for ratification. Although this is feasible, I find it difficult to believe that the SAC would consent to not enforcing the court's injunction if it is the main point of contention. However, it might consent to something more indirect, like giving Ripple a route to real register sales of XRP to institutional investors, for instance. This would allow Ripple to obtain what it requires while the SAC doesn't openly disregard the court's decision, indicating that it is feasible. In my opinion, this is the only way the issue will be resolved in the coming days or weeks, which would seem to be in line with what she is saying a settlement deal. This is really fascinating, people. Let's face it, I don't want these settlements to occur when the markets are down or when we are only seeing mud. We're going to collapse again, so I don't want that to be the trigger for this to happen. This is how long we have been waiting for the Ripple v. SEC case to be resolved. We won't suffer any more harm from another few weeks or months. This positive momentum is what we need to focus on. Let's begin watching the bull run's following leg ascend. This news should be released immediately after Bitcoin breaks out and reaches a new all-time high above 108,000. Big deal if we hear the news. What if XRP goes back to or passes through the $250, $3 resistance zone? The market makers are keeping it in there with a lot of orders and a lot of necessary liquidity, so it will be really difficult to get through. I'd like to wait. We hold off. When we're in that $4 level, we see the breakthrough, and then the pop-up to a double-digit XRP appears. Together, we're popping bottles.